So let's take a look at that. Once again, let me turn off the roof here. And we can leave everything else on right now, it's no big deal. And let's turn on the XREF so we can see what we're tracing. So starting in the front here, all right, you can see the outline of the porch. You can see the outlines of the columns. Okay, and then you have your stairs. Now remember, also the stairs can be customized, the railings can be customized, your material selections for the decking, for the face of the porch flooring there, all these could be your own design decisions. Okay, let's just make the rough model here. So if you take a look at the components, you'll see we've got our beams here that we're going to use, the columns. You'll also see the front railings, front stairs. Got two different stairs there. And then we've got rear stairs. And I think we should have some additional railings for those. We'll take a look. All right. So to start with, again, I'm in layer 0. What I want to do here is just trace the outline of the floor. All right. Notice here. Notice how you've got the finish of the wall overhanging. Okay. We could start our floor from here. You'll notice that it goes out a little bit. Right? So whether you track it or whether you create a guideline, you'll notice I'm drawing upside down, and now as I zoom out, I'm going to go to the opposite side, and now you can see how it's correctly oriented to the horizontal plane, and there's the edge. Now that produces a surface. Now you'll notice this is a light surface, this is a dark surface. I'm going to use selection mode, the space bar. Notice that when you select the surface and you right click, you can reverse it. This is the back face. The lighter face is the front face. This is the face that's always facing you, your eyes. Okay? This is the face that you want to place your materials on, not the back face. It should always be the front face. Okay? So if you see it dark, flip it around, reverse it. Now, what we're going to do here is, this in itself is going to be a component. So we can double click to select the face and the edges. Right click, make component. We'll call it front deck. Okay. Replace selection with component and create. Now we'll double click to edit the component. First, we're going to pull it down the full distance of 4 feet, like our main floor. And then we're going to push the front face down anywhere from 1 to 2 inches. Okay? And this is going to give us the clearance that we need for any sort of water pooling, making sure that we have room for a threshold if we want to have that. Okay? Now, here's the front porch decking. And now, if you like, we can do the stairs, for example. Let's go ahead and look for those. And I saw them up here. Hey, where'd they go? Let's see. Let's go back to our cottage components. There we go. Okay. And here they are. Not really sure which one is which here, but we can play around with it, all right? I'll go ahead and just pick this one for right now. Bring it in. Now, the way that you want to use these, and you could see here, okay, these stairs is really one component made of multiple components, okay? If you take a look at it, if I double click to edit it, you'll notice that these vertical rails are really just a pattern copy of one single component. And the reason for that is so that if I want to change the style of it, for example, if I want to make it narrower, right, If I change one, it changes all of them. You can see, right? That's what's important here about your detailed design. Try to determine the patterns. Make components out of the single unique units, okay? You'll notice up here, if I exit that component, the top rail is a component, right? You'll notice that, for example, if I wanted to change the face here, if I wanted to pull it more or create an extended railing, right? If I do it on one side, it does the other. That's just a copy. Also, you'll notice with the tread, that's a component. That way, if the material changes, if the dimensions change, if I put in a bull nose, I do it to one, it changes the other. Okay? The stringer here, this is a component as well. So what I've got is, for my stairs, I've got components that make up a larger component, right? And if you recall, you'll notice how when I select and I use move, if I go over the component, whichever face I'm on, you'll notice that I'm able to rotate it. So if I wanted to rotate it in position, I can use the horizontal plane here, give it a 90-degree rotation, and then notice that here's the top bull nose of the top step on the decking, and what I could do here is locate the midpoint. Okay, here's the midpoint in the component, snap to that, and then I could find the midpoint here and be able to snap to that. So position yourself in a way that you can actually see it, and notice, right, as you get closer and closer to the middle, it should snap to the midpoint in that component. Click. All right? And there's your stairs. Now, as we continue, we need to have our columns. So we can come up, find your column. Notice, that's a component as well, right? So I'm going to align it here in the plan. Look at the height there, right? I'm going to align it right to the plan. Should fit perfectly. And then it's just a matter of creating copies. So again, the way I create a copy here is I use move command plus control. Just tap it once. Notice that I'm using the XREF as a base point, right? I'm using this point here. Click from there, drag it along to the next point. And then I can repeat it once again. That looked like it shifted a little bit. Just make sure that they're aligned with the first one that you put in. All right? See how it's aligned here? You can use one corner together with, let's select this one, use move, and then tap control. Okay, see how I'm making a copy? Come over here to this side. Notice how I snap to the x-axis, use shift, and then I could just snap to that corner right there. See how those are aligned? And then once again, control, pick a base point, snap to it, use shift to constrain it, and then get your reference point there. Now you'll notice when I take a look at my layers and I turn off the XREF, okay, how everything is aligned. Now, we're going to show the beam across and beam on either side. If you turn on the roof, you can see here, and I've already got it in place. And as I move closer, you can see there's the space for the beam that goes there, right? And I believe here you can see this is the soffit that I created. Now, let me turn off the roof and let me show you with the beams here. Here's component. So you got two different beams. You'll notice there's a short one. I'll just put it out here. And then there should be a long one, right? Just put it out there. And remember, as we're working, remember, all of these components were just placed on 0 layer, right? Make sure you organize them by placing them on the correct layer. So here we have columns. This, we could just call it stairs, keep it all together. Right? And then here's our beams. So I'll just pre-select them and put them on the beams layer. Once again, if I select my component, use move, you'll notice the tick marks, right? This will allow us to rotate, and then if we use a base point on the component, we can use it to align it. Right? Now, if I select this one, I'll go ahead and move it from a base point to another base point, like that. Now, you'll notice that I need to make a copy on the other side, right? Look what I'll do here. I'll use a control, snap from that corner to this corner. Now look at this. If I right click, you can flip along an axis. And this is how you can get mirrored. Okay? Notice how you can use the red axis or the green or blue axis. Now, until you get comfortable, just try different axes, and you'll be able to see which one is controlling. Now, right now I turned off the axes. That's why you can't really see. But you'll notice I use flip along the red axis, right? And it gave me the right orientation there. And now I can just position it. Okay? So if your columns are not aligned properly, you can adjust it. It's just a sizing issue. Okay, you can see it there. It looks good. That column is placed correctly. And if I'm over here, let's just double check. It looks like it's placed correctly. It's just the sizing. It's not a big deal. Okay, what we really want to do is pull this guy to here. Now we have this space, right? How do we adjust this? Well, quite easily. You could just go to this component, double click to edit it, double click on the face, and then we could just move the face closer. Just like that. Okay? So, in the next few steps, we'll take a closer look at customizing. Let's go ahead and finish off our back porch here. So as I scroll through my component library, I should have my back stairs. Let's see. Here's the rear stairs, right? As I place it, I want to rotate it 180. Okay? Now, keep in mind that what you want to do here is you want to center this edge centered to the opening edge here, right? As you can see there. Now remember, this decking should be 2 inches, right? At least 2 inches below. So you can see here how I have aligned it to the bottom of the wall. And now what I can do is using move, pull up or down, right? Make sure it's on the blue axis and put it down anywhere between 1 and 2 inches. Okay? So, if we turn everything back on again to see what we have so far, you can see there and then we just need our railings. So let's make sure we've got that. First, let me put this onto the stairs layer. And let's go back to components and let's get our front and side railings here. So here's front railings, right? Now notice here, I believe what I'm going to do is just snap to the bottom intersection right here. Okay, this should put it at the correct height, and it should center the railings right on our columns.